Hi everyone, thank you for joining me today. So today I'm going to be joined by Lisa from Nudge Me. I'm very excited to chat to Lisa. She was an ex-student of my website Words Workshop, so she's going to talk to us just about what it's like kind of within the workshop and how learning those kind of basic or essential copywriting skills has kind of changed her business. So I'm excited to chat with her. Has just launched, so you can join until the 22nd of June. The link is in my bio to do that. So hi Lisa, how are you?
Hi Elle, how are you? I'm
Yes,
good.
good. I know it's kind of Friday evening there, so I'm a bit like, oh no. Well, getting
Oh,
to
good.
Friday evening, so thank you so much for joining me. So I suppose let's kind of start by talking a little bit. I just want to kind of talk about the website Words Workshop and kind of what was going on in your business when you joined and kind of what you took away from it, and then talk about what you're doing, because I see all your posts and it looks like your business is kind of really taking off and it looks like you're doing some great stuff. So I want to cover that as well. So you joined the website Words Workshop. It was like early last year, right? I'm trying to think. It was like March, April, May time, I think,
Yeah,
last year.
I think it must have been March. I think I'm even
Yeah,
thinking maybe Feb or March. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Feels like a lifetime ago. I don't know if you feel the
It does
same.
actually. Yeah,
And what was going on in your business? So you were kind of just starting out, right? You were just kind of
yeah.
launching, and you didn't have a website at all at that point. You were kind of
I
starting
actually,
fresh, or you did?
I had a
Okay,
landing. I had a landing page,
right.
and that was sort of maybe 6 months prior. I had put that up, and then I realized that I can't just continue with that landing page, and I need some more structure and more information
Mm,
on my website.
mm. So
And
was that just like a one scrolling, you mean, kind of, or just literally like a landing
yeah,
page, like you didn't scroll or anything? It was just kind of
yeah, no, you could scroll. I can't even
okay.
remember exactly what information was there, just like basic, probably what a homepage would look like.
Yeah,
But yeah, I knew that I wanted to, yeah, just have more information, and I needed to have, just a, bigger website. And it's
yeah,
not that big, but the typical pages that you have on a website.
yeah.
And I think that I'm even able to figure out like what are the pages that should be on the website. But I think your workshop came to my radar at such a great time, because I was literally in the process of starting to figure it out on my own, and then
Yeah.
realizing that, oh no, like, do I have to come up with everything? Like, I was looking at other people's websites and trying to figure
Yeah.
out, is there a formula? But because I don't think that I didn't know you before, and I didn't
No.
have any, I don't think I had followed you much, but somehow you were on my radar, and it was exactly what I needed. And yeah,
Yeah.
I just bought basically.
It's funny how that happens sometimes, isn't it? You just kind of, you're looking for something, and at the right time something just kind of falls on your lap, and you're just in that perfect headspace to kind of get it done, and you've got the time there. So
Yeah,
that's good.
and you were
Somehow
probably
before.
you probably knew your target audience really well and used the exact words that I would be, express how, where I am and what I need.
Yeah.
So yeah,
What was
it was
going on in your head was down on what you were reading, yeah. Which is such a huge part, and that's obviously something you learned in the website Words Workshop as well, how
exactly.
to kind of go about doing that research so that you are reflecting what is going on. So when someone that is ready for your offer or is ready to work with you, they read what you've written, whether it be on a sales page or an ad or on your website, and they're kind of like, wow, she really gets me, she really understands. So
Oh, absolutely.
it kind
And
of shows.
that was one of the biggest things that I took away from your workshop as well.
Yeah,
That learning, because I have like a research background, design research background
yeah.
myself. So I felt like, I know how to do customer research, and I had done that as well. But I think the missing piece for me was how you taught us to use that research in my copy. Like I had
Mm,
never, and it's not difficult. Like, you have
yeah.
these awesome hacks, and they're available to everyone. No one needs to go and have a research project before that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think that was really like, I really loved that part.
Yeah, I remember you saying at the time, you were like, "Oh, this is great," and it's amazing actually, because whenever I say the word research, I see people just being like, "Oh no, boring," but actually, every time I teach that kind of method,
it's always light bulb moments, and everyone always comes away like really excited to do research. And that's what I love about it, because I'm kind of like, yeah, it's not boring. So from a research background, what kind of customer research would you have done? Like, if you hadn't kind of been on the website Words Workshop, what would you have kind of classed as customer research? Would you have kind of done speaking to people, or how would that have looked for you?
And I had done that as well. So I had done my interviews with people, and especially because I have that background, I know how to run these sessions, and I find the most valuable just talking to people. But it's like the desktop research part that you sort of talk more about, that is accessible to all of us, and surveys if it's relevant as well.
And I think it's really interesting what you said about, like, kind of you can do the research and then you've kind of got it, and then you're kind of like, okay, where's this, how do I turn it from here into website copy, or how do I turn it into information that I can actually use? And that can be a kind of big missing link, I think, in the puzzle.
That's the hardest part usually. Of any research, like interpreting it.
So how about like writing itself? Like, what are when you think of writing, does it daunt you? Are you kind of like, or is it something you're quite comfortable with? What are your thoughts on writing?
Oh no, absolutely not. Like, I have never thought of myself as a good writer, and English is my second language, and I sort of have always hidden behind it, and I don't think like, I've lived in Australia for 15 years. I've done my master's degree here. Surely I have practiced the language enough that I should be able to write in it. I think it was just something that I told myself that, as an excuse. And I think your workshop definitely helped me and build that confidence as well, that I can write. And then just, I think there's other course, like I did the Mia's campaign classroom class. Which was another thing of just it forced me to write a lot, because I had to do a lot of marketing, because I just ran a campaign. So I think it's just the practice that I put in. But even with that, the campaign writing, there's so much stuff that I have taken away from your workshop, actually, and used that sort of thinking. And I have rewritten my website earlier this year again. So I literally took all the stuff that you gave to us over that workshop. I took it out again, duplicated my documents and went through the process again. And I love that the process is not like super tedious. Like, it's quite, it's so clear, and it's so, and I haven't used everything one-on-one, but it just gives this guide of how can I, and I think that's what I appreciate the most, is that I can use it again. And I have used it several times. With like some sales pages or like campaign pages, which it's not part of your workshop, but the thinking is there, and I'm just taking bits and pieces and put it together.
I do get asked about sales pages a lot, actually, and people being like, does it have a sales page? And I deliberately didn't, because I kind of wanted this to be the kind of basics, like, let's not kind of really confuse people. But I think I've heard it mentioned a few times, so it might be an evolution to kind of add in some sort of sales page as well.
But the way you teach it, it's like, you talk about highly converting website. It has the sales elements in it, in that that copy as well.
Absolutely. And like, that's my thing. As you know, I'm like obsessed with psychology. I'm obsessed with the sales psychology part, so that is baked into every single page. But I think maybe that kind of templated out sales page maybe would be useful for people further down the line. But I think what's really interesting about your business, and I know, like you said, you've kind of pivoted a bit. So what you actually did the workshop for, now your business evolved a little bit. So you kind of rewrote it, which is really great to hear that you could just transfer it across. And I think when you did it, we had I think we had a graphic designer, we had your business, which is fairly different to kind of the coaching or the like one-on-one service providers that I usually work with. So I love that you kind of took a different angle at it, and you were kind of like, everything maybe isn't absolutely 100% relevant to me, but I've got the kind of framework, so I can see how that can adapt for my business, because we all know everybody's business is different, and just getting a template and just being like, okay, this will work for everyone, isn't actually the case. But I hope that, and it sounds like you got the kind of tools where you have the template, but you kind of learn how you could adapt it for your particular business and your offers.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there was something like one page that you talked about that I was like, oh, that's probably not relevant for me, but I can't
Mm,
remember when that was. Yeah, and yeah, that was fine, but the majority
yeah.
of was relevant. Yeah.
Yeah, great. Okay. So tell me about what you're doing with Nudge Me. I'd love to hear kind of where you're at with your business now and kind of what you're doing. Tell everyone what Nudge Me is in case people don't know.
Yeah, so when I did the workshop with you, then Nudge Me had one main service, and that
Yeah.
was to connect women with business coaches,
Mm,
like values aligned business coaches, and really make like meaningful matches. Since then, I think actually ever since I started, my goal was to make coaching more accessible for
mm,
women in business. And I think the other part of the business that sort of got added less than a year ago, actually, is like financially more accessible model, which is the peer-to-peer
right.
coaching model,
Right.
and having support pods for women. We call them pods, nudge pods, for women, yeah, to support each other. And what we provide is a structure, like a 12-week structure,
Mm,
and a guide how to better support each other. So that peer coaching methodology.
love
Yeah,
that.
and then both of these sides of the business are still there. So when I was redesigning the website, then I had to just like reframe how I talk about it, because it wasn't
Mm,
just about matching with a professional coaches. It became something else.
mm.
Yeah.
So exciting. And you're at nudge.me, is that right? Your handle on Instagram, or is it Nudge Me or
No,
online?
it's nudgeme.online. Yeah.
Dot
It's the
online,
URL.
that's right. Okay.
So, yeah.
Cool. Well, thanks so much. I don't want to take up too much of your time because, like I said, I'm aware it's Friday evening, and I'm like, the last thing you want to be
Oh,
doing is sat
good.
on Instagram on a Friday evening.
I,
So thank
yeah,
you so
I'm
much.
happy to support, especially because
Oh,
I get a lot of value, and I really appreciate the ongoing value that you have sort of provided without even knowing it.
oh, thank you. That's really great to hear. So yeah, if anyone is interested, if anyone has any questions, drop them in the comments, or you can DM me if you have any questions about the website Words Workshop, or DM Lisa if you have any questions about Nudge Me. If anyone's interested in joining, like I said, the doors are open until the 22nd of June, so you can follow the link in my bio for that. And yeah, just great to chat, and thank you so much. I'm so pleased that you are still using all the kind of the stuff that you learn and you can transfer it into your business. And I hope that you, because my big thing with the website Words Workshop was making sure it's not just about writing websites, and it's kind of like everything you learn, all that sales psychology and all those formulas and the tips and tricks you can then use to kind of into anything you write for your business. And like, I hope that you find that, do you feel like you've got a little bit of a kind of extra string to your bow in terms of like
Oh
just
yeah,
knowing
absolutely.
it? Good.
Yeah, and I think I was trying to allude to that as well, like even writing like Instagram captions, or it's
Yeah.
just, the thinking that you provide there, which is, really understanding, writing it from a customer's perspective. I think that's the key. And yeah, the value, how do you call them? The value based titles, it's,
Oh,
yeah,
the benefit driven
the
headlines and
benefit
that kind
driven.
of thing.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, that's sort of like the mantra in my head when I'm writing.
Yeah. Yeah. So like as people are skimming, you want to be like putting headlines and subheads that like pop out as a benefit to them rather than writing like my story or my process and
Yeah,
that kind of thing. Yeah.
but it
Cool. All right.
also think I have to like rethink, then hold on, what is the value, like constantly
Mm,
checking. Yeah,
yeah. Great point. Thank you. Okay, cool. All right, I'll let you go. Have a great weekend. And thank you so much for joining me again.
yeah, have a great weekend as well.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye.